Okay, we are live, boys and girls. And we have Sarah Watkins Satterfield. She's going to tell us about some races, BDR, all the bling, and why they have over 3,000 people. So the stage is yours, dear.
Awesome. So a couple weeks back, I did the BDR Triple Challenge, and it is a 10K followed by a 5K. And then the next day, we do a half marathon. And this is a series that was organized by runners for runners. So the people that are organizing it know what runners want. Had some incredible bling. For some people, it's about getting a PR. For other people, the slower runners like myself, it might be getting bling. With the triple challenge, we did get a nice trucker's hat. And this is kind of something that many races are doing now. In my pain cave where I have all my medals on display, I do have a row of truckers cat hats, and those are really neat. And then with the triple challenge, you did get three different medals. So you got one medal for doing the half marathon, one medal for doing the 5K, a medal for doing the 10K, and then also a medal for doing the 5K, 10K back to back, and then a medal for doing all three races if you were really crazy. So I'm going to show
Oh,
you those in order.
Sarah, Sarah,
Yes.
one thing. You got to hold it up. Yeah, there you go. It's on.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. I was getting them organized. So this is the
Okay, I'm
10K medals.
sorry.
Yeah. This is the first race in the series. And for some people, it will be more logical to do the 5K to begin with. But this was on Saturday. And I think the reason they put the 10K first is it got very hot. The Safety Harbor series is normally done in February, but because of COVID-19 concerns, they pushed it back this year to October. And in Florida, you just don't know what kind of weather you're going to get. So this particular weekend, it was very hot. And I was glad that the 10K was first. So this is the 10K medal right here. And then the 5K started at 9 a.m. So I finished up the 10K about 10 after 8. It took me a little over an hour to do it. I stayed at the host hotel, which is right at the start line. And I was able to go upstairs and change right before the 5K, which started at 9. So for those doing the 5K, it was rather toasty out, depending on how fast you ran. They had great aid stations along the course, water and Gatorade, ice cold Gatorade, very, very nice. And then once we completed the 5K, we went back to the finish line and we were able to redeem our medal for the double challenge. So you have the option of doing the 10K by itself, the 5K by itself, or the two back to back, in which case you got the double challenge medal. And then after that, there's a great after party. I think that's one of the great attractions for BDR. There are a lot of vendors that set up, but then a lot of free stuff. So they had free frozen yogurt, they had free Dunkin' Donuts donut holes and coffee, pizza, all kinds of stuff. A barbecue joint was set up. So a lot of great things for the after party. And then fast forward to Sunday, the half marathon on Sunday. This is the bling for the half marathon. And this one started quite early. It is largely a closed course, which is very nice. You don't have to worry about traffic. There is great traffic control. So when you do have any kind of issues with traffic, you have plenty of police out on the course to monitor it. And the half marathon had pace groups, and that's very nice if you're trying to get a certain pace, if you want to get a PR, or just make sure that you maintain a certain pace. Set yourself up with a pace group. I was just going to go nice and slow for this one, so I set myself up with the 240 pace group, and we came in just a few minutes ahead of that, which was really good. The good thing about pace groups is it gives you motivation. You're not alone out there. You've got people to talk to. You're able to turn off your music and just enjoy some conversation along the way. The route for the half marathon, very nice route. It's relatively flat until the very end. About mile 10, they take us into a beautiful park. It has boardwalks out there, but it's very hilly. And by that time, you're very tired. So I have been doing a run walk interval once we hit that park and all of those hills, I did do more walking than running. And then we came back out onto the road and I was able to pick up the pace just a little bit and then cross that finish line. And you got the medal for the triple challenge. So this is what we got for doing all 3 races back to back, 5K, 10K, and half marathon. The same after party available after the half marathon. So all kinds of vendors there if you wanted to purchase merchandise, but then also the free food. A lot of times runners don't take money with them onto the course. So it's always good to have free stuff. One of the neat things about BDR is they do a registration blitz very soon after the races, and they give you highly discounted prices. So you can sign up for the 5K, the 10K, the double challenge, the triple challenge at a significant discount. And they have a certain number of registrations available at a certain price, and then it bumps up a little bit, still. And they have races. I've done the BDR race in New Orleans. It's got a very nice medal as well. They have one in Orlando that's a little bit hilly towards the end, like the one in Safety Harbor. And then I believe they also have one in Savannah. And we had talked before about how some of the races in Savannah were canceling. There is going to be a race running this weekend up in Savannah. The Rock and Roll Savannah is running. So it looks like things are beginning to get back to normal. And then last weekend, I did a local 5K. DRC Sports does some really great events in this area. We're in Central Florida if you're not in this area. And DRC Sports is one of the big companies here. Summer Sports is another great one. And this was the finisher's medal. This was a Halloween-themed 5K. And it was actually a week ahead of Halloween. I think it was October the 23rd, so a little bit earlier. But everyone got the finisher's medal. They had a costume contest. I'm trying to get in the shot here. A costume contest at the end, which was nice. And it was funny because it was actually a marriage proposal at the finish line. So that was really neat. A couple had run the course together. The husband-to-be was a heart transplant recipient, and he did propose to his girlfriend right there at the finish line. I did place 3rd in the Halloween race, and we got a neat little trophy here. I think it's always neat when the medals or the trophies are specific to the race. So a nice touch here having that jack-o'-lantern on top. But a really fun race just right here. That was a small one. The BDR races, as Craig had mentioned, are tremendous events. We're talking thousands of runners. People just come out for a good time on the course. You're not pressured to finish at a certain time. You can take your liberties. There were some people that were walking the course. You know you're going to get great bling. You know it's going to be a well-supported course. And you know there's a great after party waiting for you at the finish line. And I think that's part of the draw. Of course, this weekend, we have coming up the Wiki Wachi series. So if you are, Craig is waving, maybe he is swatting flies or he's telling me to stop talking.
No, I wanted to, I don't like to interrupt you, but I wanted to
He was
ask
raising
you
his hand.
a question before I forget, because I'm a lot older than you.
Yeah.
But I just want to mention, I like the Weekend Warrior thing. It hides my turkey neck. So I'll move over this way. But anyway, what I want to ask you is, what kind of food? I'm always looking for new ideas for races. I know that you and I are both doing that. What kind of food did you like at BDR that you would want to see at one of our races, or would it work? What, the pizza? I always see pizza.
Pizza. Yeah, pizza, because people always say to carb load at the finish line. So they had the standard fruit. So they had bananas and oranges. They did have pizza, bags of potato chips. They had the frozen yogurt in little individual cups. Of course, there are concerns with COVID about spreading germs. So it's little individual cups, and then you would dip out your toppings if you wanted toppings for it. I think sometimes people just crave a good old-fashioned soda at the finish line. I don't drink a lot of carbonated beverages, but after running a hot half marathon, it's good to have an ice cold Coke sometimes, and they have that. There was, I believe, a beer garden. I did not drink anything. I'm not a drinker, but I think they had a beer garden for those that wanted that. And then I am vegetarian, so I did not partake of the meat. But a very popular stop was
How
build
did
your
they?
own bowl, like a taco type bowl, and there were a lot of people lined up for that. But I think pizza's a go-to, offering maybe
How to
pepperoni
keep
if
the
you are a
pizza
meat
warm?
eater. Sure. Say it.
How did they keep the pizza warm?
I'm
Sorry,
not even sure that it was warm.
the pizza.
Yeah, it wasn't
Oh,
particularly warm, but that's okay. I believe they had the insulated bags for it, but it was so hot, nature kept it warm. They did have Dunkin' Donuts out
oh,
there until it ran out with coffee and cream, and that was still warm. But they just had insulated bags and then just the big boxes of pizza. And then you would just come up and tell them whether you wanted cheese or pepperoni. When I did Ironman Augusta in September, they also had pizza at the finish line. There was not a lot at the finish line, at least that I saw after Ironman Augusta, but they gave us 2 slices of pizza after completing the Ironman versus 1 slice at BDR. But there was so much different food there. So if you had a specific food preference, they had something to accommodate almost everyone. They had frozen fruit bars. So if you're a vegan, they had frozen fruit bars that you could have, a lot of different things.
we are having my wife's the chocolate chip bread. We had 21 loaves last year, and nothing was left over.
Yeah.
It was
So the
amazing.
draw
So a
of
lot of people.
Marathon Mania, if you haven't done Marathon Mania before, Craig's race in January, his wife Nancy makes homemade bread, different kinds of bread, banana bread and the like. And that's the treat at the finish line. It's just a good family run operation, kind of a mom and pop's type operation. Really nice course because it is truly flat. You'll hear people say, oh, it's a fast and flat race. And a lot of times that is not 100% accurate. But with Marathon and Mania, it is literally an out and back course. You can't get lost. You're going to go out, you're going to come back, and then there'll be food waiting for you at the finish line. Now, speaking of
Well,
getting
we're
lost, this this weekend he is going to have Wiki Watchy, and that is a combination trail run and now road run. And he's covering his face because there was a challenge last year with some of the runners, myself included, getting lost and venturing well into nature. We did not encounter any alligators, but we did see Florida at her finest. But this one does have a 10K half marathon option starting at the same time. And my understanding is we're going to follow the same course. And then the half marathoners are going to go out on a different track at the finish line. And then the 5K is a very easy course, just a nice loop around the lake. If you're a 5Ker, I would recommend wearing perhaps trail shoes because it is a mixed terrain. But because we're going out onto the road, I think that I'll wear my road shoes for the 10K. But several different options there. And the awards for that one are going to be 5 deep age groups, 3 deep in 5-year age groups, which will be nice. There was a race here this past weekend that only had awards for the first place finisher in each age group. And that's kind of a deterrent for us slower runners. You want a chance at an award. And if they're only giving out first, that's very challenging. So this one will be generous in the awards that are given.
Well, I'm going to mark the course. I got it all down pat. I'm not taking the heat again this year. But we're having an announcer. We have the music. We will have people placed at sections to say, that away so they don't miss. There'll be plenty of arrows. I usually have the arrows color coded for the 5K, 10K, and half marathon. And I'll have that same thing at the cupcake. But the cupcake's out and back, and this one, is the loop. So the arrows much brighter. They're black with maybe a purple background. It depends on which one I pick. But it's going to be nice. The weather is supposed to be 56 in the mornings, a high of 70, and 2% rain. So it'll be
Awesome.
nice. I told
And
one person who never competed there is that what I like about it is you stand in that little parking area and turn 360 degrees. You see no houses, no
Yes.
buildings. It feels like you're at the dawn of time because you're
Mhm.
expecting for some Tyrannosaurus to come out of the bushes or something. I mean, it is, you know, it's not like running, in some concrete jungle. I mean, you're out there, nice breeze. I think it's pretty.
Yeah,
Everybody
it's
likes
beautiful.
their own, but anyway.
Yep, it's beautiful. And that's the Run Your Buns Off. So there is a cinnamon bun at the finish line. Later in November, the second race in the series will be the Cupcake Run on the Hawthorne Trail. And that's another course that's more of an out and back. So if you're looking for an easy race, just straight out, straight back. And then also very pretty. It's not street, so you don't have to worry about traffic at all, but you're running through nature, but on a paved trail. So that's also coming up in November.
And and you didn't get lost, right?
Did not get lost. I did not get lost. That's always my goal in a
But
race, to not get lost.
now I just say that Sarah gives me ideas, and for the Marathon Mania, we're switching from the medal age groups to the trophy, similar to the Halloween, but it'll have a spinner, and on the spinner we'll have the logo. So that's the definite for January 2nd,
Awesome.
which I hate lugging those medals around, but you gotta lug the trophies around, just easier to table, because I know, Sarah, one year they were all coming at us wanting to know where the age group, and it was hard to keep track of them. But this time with the trophy, we are having it generic. I think you mentioned before that uh, you have the name of the race, first place age group. We're not doing 70 to 80, anything like that. Didn't it have? Yeah, it had it on there too.
Yeah.
That
So
way
this
you're
is the
not.
one. Yeah, this is
Go
the
ahead.
one from the Halloween race that I mentioned, and you can see that it does not specify the age group. And the reason Craig does it that way is because it's very hard to tell if you're going to have like a 70 to 74 person, if you're going to have a young child running. And so to make sure that we have adequate medals and trophies at the end, it is going to be somewhat generic, very similar to what you see here.
Okay. Well,
Awesome.
I'm going to cut this short because I'm out here. It's supposed to be 61. I'm at Lake Chattoog. The wind's like 25 miles an hour. I have two, and another one, and a hood. And I just noticed I don't have the electrical cord, but then I noticed there's a plug-in. So the next time I will have electricity. I do have my light on, but it is pretty up there. But today it's really, really chilly. The other
Yeah.
thing I wanted to mention is this goes to a podcast. So on Spotify, TuneIn, Anchor, you have the Weekend Warriors on on a podcast, and I'll send that out on Destination Training and the other place where we're streaming live. So I will
Awesome.
see you, Sarah, on Sunday. Okay?
And tune in next week. We'll be talking about a race recap, the good, the bad, and the ugly of Run Your Buns Off, Wiki Watchy
And I
edition.
know, and I know you're the high priest of the painful truth.
Right. We spare no mercy. No mercy.
All right, we're gonna end this.
Thank you, everyone.